authority is the greatest enemy of truth by Albert Einstein. So I'd like you to tell the person next to you what that means.
To know the meaning and I follow our teach
And when exactly were you born? Without
the truth. I think the quote means how not my team faking your authority.
What's it mean? Jake, what's it mean?
Not lie, but to others, friends,
Okay, I think you're on the right track. Something about the truth, right? Telling the truth. Daniel?
Like having a belief is nothing with non-meaning, then you can find the truth about things.
Similar? Okay, pretty good. Do you?
A person like who tells the truth, like not like be afraid of authority. What the authorities will
A
think.
person who tells the truth shouldn't be afraid of authority. Well, let's look at blind belief. Means like you believe something without any evidence. Right? So blind belief, you believe something without any proof that exists or is true. So like, if you say, for example, when you're small, and your parents say, go to bed, or Mante Harabuji will come. You know Mante Harabuji?
Yeah.
Like the boogeyman? Kids just believe it, right? They don't say, wait a minute, I need some proof that this boogeyman exists. When was he born? Where was he born? How tall is he? What does he wear? And kids don't do that. They don't ask that, right? They don't demand evidence, proof, right? It's the same idea here, right? So blind belief in authority, like your parents or the government or an authority on a topic, like a research center or a professor or a doctor, right? Blind belief, like believing them unquestionably, thinking that what they say is the absolute truth, is the greatest enemy of truth. So this fits with what we're doing because we're reading lots of nonfiction, right? And in in the articles you're reading, you're seeing all this stuff here, that these things authors do to convey a point of view. You're seeing photos, charts, maps. Certain voices are highlighted, like they're quoting farmers and experts in this and experts in that, and they're sharing statistics. They're doing all this stuff, right? And as readers, we've got to make sure that we read it, but then we ask questions. We don't accept anything unless we have evidence to believe it, right? And we're reading, we're thinking critically. So I'm going to give you an example. This is something we read before. Up here you'll see, today 94% of soybeans and 93% of corn planted in the U.S. is genetically altered. And most of it ends up in processed foods. Okay, so processed foods. According to the Grocery Manufacturers Association, up to 80% of what you eat has GMOs. but you might not know it. Unlike the European Union and places like India and Russia, the U.S. does not require foods with GMOs to be labeled. That means that a food I eat may have GMOs in it, and I have no way of knowing it. Right? There's nothing on the box that says GMO inside or GMO free. So, being a critical reader, I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. I know that only 37% of Americans think GMOs are safe. But 80% of the foods have GMOs in them. So how does this work out? All right, so, aha. If I am Daniel, if my company sells food with GMOs in it, what's going to be better for me? Putting a label on it that says GMOs used in this food, or leaving the label off? Leaving it off, right? We got 16 students in here, right? What's 37% of 16? How many people? Like 5? 4.5? 5? So, if I sell my product here, only 4 or 5 of you will buy it, right? If I have a label on there. If I take the label off and sell it, maybe 10 of you buy it. So I've got this theory that GMOs and companies that produce foods with GMOs in their products are just like fast food, the fast food industry. They're taking advantage of people to make money. Right? And they're probably doing something with, they're probably spending money to make sure that labels, GMO labels, don't go on their foods. Right? So I'm not just going to read this and say, okay, good. I'm going to think critically. Right? And why? This makes me wonder. Right? A thought I have about this is that these companies might just be like fast food companies, taking advantage of their customers. Right? Like the fast food companies, they take advantage of low-income workers because they know there are many of them, so they pay them the minimum, and when they leave, they don't care. Right? So I'm reading through my stuff, and I got this idea, and I kind of grow that idea. I think about it more. I bring that to my book club. We talk about it more. Nice tattoo. Now, this is what I want you to do. Okay, one person in your group. Okay, so I know some of you are in clubs of 4 or more, but I want you to work with a partner, and I want you to open up to one of your articles and find a spot where you can grow your thinking. Find a spot where you can ask something like that. See what that says there? Prompts to grow your own ideas right there. You're going to use that language to grow an idea, but you need an article to look at. So open up your MacBook and open up an article. Quickly. One MacBook per partnership. Please, Tiffany, you don't need yours. Yeah, stay right here. Do it here. Funny. So here's our new part of the chart. Grow your own ideas about what you're reading. So this makes me think, makes me wonder. So you are looking at an article together, an article where you have An article that made you think a lot, made you wonder things. Like, I wonder why this is this way, or I wonder why they did this. Why does this happen? Okay, so I want you to use some of this language. All right, so what is your theory? Okay, don't do that. You're reading what everyone else says. What's your theory? What's your idea? I think this. One theory I'm drawing is this. Because of this. You can do that, Fred? So you're going to need to look at one article together. Okay, find something that you've read before, that has things inside that you aren't sure about. Something you wonder about. What's up there, Dave? Close it and open it.
One thing I connected that was born on our phone. Never stayed.
So, Daniel, you're going to have to share your computer with Yibin.
Yeah,
Yes, so she can't see. Did you choose one?
And that's Korea got free.
Which article is that? What's that article about?
Maybe you're saying, I'll look into this and so everything and America did this.
What are
There was the ginger mushroom.
What are some of your own theories about these topics?
Because Japan
You guys,
got too much
a lot of you need to know. I don't understand why you're back to
because
back.
Japan got about one-third of the China and one-tenth of the Russia like that. So that's why they did the Hawaii to get America in there. And that's why they put the long I have more information.
All right. So let's just recap what we're doing in this unit, right? We've got this text set, this massive amount of information about a topic. First, we talked about how to summarize it, how to filter it, summarize it, pull out the main points. Then we talked about synthesis, right? How to filter that new information to see what it fits with, what ideas it extends, and where it contradicts with what we already know. Okay, and we practice that. Now, we're evaluating this material in a way to come up and develop our own ideas about the topic. All right, so when you start research, you have a reason. Right? Often in school, you're going to be collecting this information and then writing an essay, or writing a paper, right? Or writing a book. In our next unit, you're going to write a nonfiction book. So what you're doing now is like the research that happens before you write the book. So when I say develop your own ideas about the topic, I want you to think about the central ideas of your book. So if you were going to write a book about the Titanic, what would your central ideas be? Right? 'Cause they're not going to be exactly what you read, in this book about the Titanic. Right? The ideas are going to be your own. And you'll present the existing information in a way that conveys your idea well. Right? So that's where we're going with this. As you go back and read today, I'm going to sit down and see what you're doing, what kind of ideas you have, how you're keeping track of it all. And we're almost done. We've got one more day. One more day in this unit. Okay? So, head back. Yeah. Head back and continue reading.